Alright, hello everyone and welcome to today's Gems of War video. This video I have for you my scouting report for Maugrim Woods, beginning on July 29th, 2024. You can see Maugrim Woods right over there, kind of near the northwest corner of the map. And in the underworld, you can find their faction Hellgate, again close to the northwest corner of the map. Let's talk about Maugrim Woods and Hellgate. Maugrim Woods is a nature life kingdom. The trait stone that's available there is the Arcane Swamp trait stone, which is also available in Melantis and Valpatia should you be farming that trait stone. The power for Maugrim Woods, the maximum power, is already capped at 30. So they're going to add one more troop and one more weapon, so that will make it a little bit easier to hit that maximum power of 30. As far as the hero class that's available in Maugrim Woods, it is the Warden class. It is the only beast class that's in the game. However, it is also pretty much a garbage tier class that you're really only going to care about to get the champion level 100, just so you can get Maugrim Woods to power 20. As far as the Hellgate faction, it is not one of the factions that has been previously expanded, so there's only 4 troops available there. The restriction is brown or red. The troops they're not bad, but they aren't troops that you're going to go out of your way to get early. You can get these troops you can wait and get these troops when you're ready to do a pure faction run. The faction weapon is kind of more collectible than anything else. You can get it on Tuesday if you want, but you don't really need it. And as far as the Maugrim Woods troops in total, you remember you only need 39 of them to get to power 30. There are 33 troops currently available in the chest drop table, of which 2 of them are mythics. As I mentioned before, there's going to be one that's going to be added to the glory shop and immediately added to the chest drop tables. There's again 4 Hellgate troops that are available only at the Hellgate portal. There is 1 cosmic dragon that will count as a base mythic. That is one of the dragons you have to get as you're going along to get stellar ranks. As far as the tarot cards, there is a Major Arcana Moon card available in the Vault drop table. And in the Soul Forge, there are 2 bosses, both of which count as base mythics. Hatir Ascendant and Scroll Reborn. Hatir Ascendant requires the Moon card, and Scroll Reborn requires the Sun card. You can craft them if you want. As for Midwinter Lycan, I basically put this together with the assumption that Midwinter Lycan will not be available in the chest drop tables. I would assume that it would be available at some later date. However, it has debuted not too long ago, and based on how they've done things previously, Midwinter Lycan will probably not make it to the chest drop tables in time for Maugrim Woods week. So let's go ahead and talk about the Core 4 team. Now, the Core 4 team is your Trials team for Maugrim Woods, and I feel it is a pretty straightforward team. Everything. Your big MVP is going to be Fenrir, because his spell gives an ally a certain amount of attack and life, and if the ally is a beast, give double the effect. Now, as far as the double the effect, Dire Wolf, Fenrir, and Forest Guardian are all beasts, and Sister Brodir is not. So you could put Fenrir on top and just have him cast into himself. I like to put the Dire Wolf in first and have Fenrir cast into the Dire Wolf. A couple casts into the Dire Wolf, and the Dire Wolf will be able to get rid of just about everything with skulls, or maybe more than that. But you don't have to be held back just by the fact that the Dire Wolf is a base common. If anything, you could just fill up Dire Wolf and then just let him stay at full mana and let all that mana roll down into Fenrir. Forest Guardian is a very important troop to get for Maugrim Woods. He is a base legendary, but he has Lord of Beasts. All beast allies start with 50% mana. That is the type of trait that you want to look for. And Ancestral Brodir, I have kind of a different way of using Ancestral Brodir than I think most people will. He creates 8 blue gems and 8 green gems, and then he summons 1 to 3 random Maugrim Woods troops. So I know that a lot of people might be tempted to just charge him up and just wait, just in case something else goes down so he can recast. Thing is, if the Dire Wolf goes down or if Fenrir goes down, you're gonna be in such bad straits, you're just gonna restart anyway. So you might as well just cast Ancestral Brodir whenever you can. Get those 8 blue gems and 8 green gems on the board so that Fenrir can cast a little bit more often. And that's kind of my strategy for the Trials teams, and it worked pretty well for me. As for the 4 more list, Wayfinder I think is a good troop if you happen to get this troop early. Deals damage to an enemy and then double damage if they use green mana, and then halves the enemy's attack. And so this is a good way to stop an otherwise more powerful team from using a lot of skulls against you. But it is something that perhaps you might use a little bit more early than later. As for Spirit Dancer and Spirit Fox, they kind of go well together. Spirit Dancer transforms a selected mana color to green and then summons a Spirit Fox, but then also summons a Leaf Storm whenever an ally summons a troop. So you have really good synergy with Spirit Dancer's 3rd trait and their spell. And Spirit Fox drains 7 mana from an enemy, removing all yellow gems, and then deals true damage boosted by the gems removed at a 2-to-1 ratio. So again, I think that this combination, you kind of have to take them both if you want to use them to their advantage, but you'll probably use this earlier rather than later. And then as for the best base mythic to get from the Soulforge, I guess it's probably gotta be Wolf Garrock, even though that's not one of the ones I currently have. He does damage to an enemy boosted by Wargear allies at ×4 ratio. If the enemy dies, devour a random enemy. Works really well. You just have to hope that random enemy doesn't have something like Impervious, which makes them immune to devour. But otherwise, it's a really good base mythic, and obviously the best one of the 6. You'll be able to get Midwinter Lycon at some point later on if you want. Again, the Cosmic Dragon, if you're going for Stellarix, you'll get this one in due time. And as far as the Hatir and Scroll mythics, Scroll Reborn is kind of my favorite, if only because Scroll Reborn doesn't create Lycanthropy gems, of which Hatir and Scroll and Hatir Ascendant do. So let's move on to the weapons, and if you can afford to do so, I recommend that you try to set yourself into a position where you have 14 Maugrim Woods weapons that you'll be able to fully temper, fully level up. Of the ones that are absolutely necessary, make sure you have Lupine's Edge and Wolf Hammer. As far as the other weapons, again, Hellblade is the faction weapon. It'll be available on Tuesday if you want it. The Warden Gauntlets, you'll get this one for getting 250 wins with the Warden class. Is a pretty good mana generating weapon. Obviously, it's not as good as Wand of Stars because nothing is. But then you have the matter of the existing doomed weapon and the new doomed weapon. So this previous doomed weapon, you can get this one from the Soulforge, and I recommend you get it from the Soulforge because this is a very useful weapon, and it might even be worth tempering this weapon before you temper the brand new polearm. So keep that in mind. I do recommend that you end the week with both doomed weapons in your inventory. even if you have to temper them later. Okay, let's go ahead over to the pets. And remember, to get to power 30, you need to have 4 of these pets to level 20 and a 5th pet to any level. Now, the Kingdom Boost pet, which is the most important one, is Little Kirby. And that one gives you the team bonus from Maugrim Woods. And of course, you have the story version down here, which you get by unlocking this pet from the Epic Trials. That's why the Trials team is so important. As for the rest of the pets, of the ones that provide actual bonuses, Benekit will give you a team bonus for fire, so that means you'll get that team bonus if all of your troops are unique and use red mana. Lil Lupus will give you a team bonus for war gear. And Slightly Judgy is the faction faction pet for Hellgate. So if you're going for power 30, you will have to max your renown for the Hellgate faction anyway, and thus you'll have this one at level 20. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the weekly events for Maugrim Woods week. As I alluded to, we have a Tower of Doom this week, and the restriction is going to be green. On Wednesday, we have the weekly pet rescue, and it's scheduled to be Little Kirby, and that is the one that gives you that all-important Maugrim Woods Kingdom boost. So make sure that you rescue Little Kirby if you do not have, especially if you do not have it at level 20. As for the Warden class trial, you can use either a brown DPS weapon with 3 dire cubs or a green DPS weapon with 3 caribou. And if you want to use a DPS weapon that's both brown or green, just use whatever mix of dire cubs and caribous that you want. As for the weekend, there is going to be a faction expansion for Tinkertown, which is Adana's faction. And that is going to be an important one because that will bring Adana's maximum power to the cap of 30. And so it'll be another one that you can get to power 30, and possibly one that you'll have more interest in getting to power 30 than Maugrim Woods. Not pictured in this slide is the possibility of a new mythic on Friday. As far as Tehran's World goes, there wasn't any information on what the new mythic is or if there's going to be one. So I'm putting it out there. So get your keys ready, and if there isn't one, then just save your keys for next time, because it does show that there will be new mythics on the first Friday of months to come. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, subscribe to this channel, and or follow me on Twitch if you'd like to see more of my content. And in the comments below, let me know everything I got right, everything I got wrong, and I'll see you in the next video.